And welcome back
to Read the Room,
a culture club,
a podcast by
Alexys,
Kaylin,
and Larsen.
Today, our episode is a recap of our 2025 favorites. It's coming a little late in the year, but later is better than never, and there was a lot going on last year, so it took time to process.
Yeah.
Should we start with books?
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it. I think I might have the most written down here, so I guess I'll go first. A huge standout last year, I wish I had read it sooner, great book, quick book, is I Who Have Never Known Men. That was, we spent hours talking about that book after we'd read it, and man, it came out in what, 80s, 90s, 70s? I should have wrote this down. But it kind of had a resurgence in the last year or so, because, themes be theming. Very interesting book, written stream of consciousness. You don't really get any answers at all. But the ride that you are on in that book it's a ride I would stay on longer. I would stay on forever. Phenomenal book. Highly recommend.
I am less like Kaylin with my ratings, especially for books. I feel like I'm less likely to give out 5 stars. Kaylin doesn't always rate her books either.
I don't. I just go on vibes.
So I feel like it's hard for me sometimes to pick my favorites because, like, last year, I also really, really loved I Who Have Never Known Men. That was my 5-star read. Mm-hmm. But I have some books that I rated 4.5 or 4 stars that I keep thinking about. And, like, again, I don't think that they're going to be 5-star reads, but they're things I like a lot, and I feel like I want to share with people.
Yeah.
But I Who Have Never Known Men is for sure my top read of last year. It's by Jacqueline Hartman, if we didn't say that. It's incredible. It's definitely like sci-fi, dystopian, female-led, talks so much about humanity. And I have never read a book quite like this, structure-wise, even some of the themes. Like, it makes you think. And when I finished the book, because it is really short.
Yeah.
But when I finished the book, I almost sat there longer thinking about it than I did reading it. And I just felt so unsettled. And not necessarily in a bad way, but you're just kind of left like, what? Mm-hmm. And I loved, like, what it brought out. Like Kaylin said, we had such a long conversation about it. It was huge recommend.
Yeah, the whole book is, like, all about, like, what does it mean to be human? Like, what is essential to the human experience? What is something that a human will do no matter where they're placed? And, like, what does storytelling mean? And why is storytelling so important to us as humans? It's an extremely fascinating book.
One book that I read, I find myself reading oftentimes just as much nonfiction as I do fiction. And one book that I read that I did like was The Magical Age of Overthinking by Amanda Montal. And I know that Montal's works can sometimes draw yays and draw nays. She's one of the hosts and creators of the Sounds Like a Cult podcast. I didn't love like cultish. I thought it was interesting, but it wouldn't have been a fave. But The Magical Age of Overthinking is her newest work of nonfiction, and something about that topic of psychological phenomenons in the cultural zeitgeist really tickled a part of my brain and made me very curious and interested. Go figure.
Did you read Word Slut?
I've read about half of Word Slut at this point. Okay. It doesn't call to me to finish with any immediacy. I don't dislike how it's written. Again, it's kind of like cultish, where I'm like, this is objectively interesting topic, and I don't mind the tone that she's writing it in, but it's just that kind of work where I feel like I can set this down and pick this up and read a chapter at a time over a stretch of months to years. Yeah. But The Age of Magical Overthinking, I actually wanted to get through. I wanted the next chapter.
That's good to know. I also attempted Word Slut like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and I was like on vacation or something, and it was just not in the right state of mind to maybe I'll come back to it. We'll see. My next, I'm gonna do two books in this little bit here. They're very similar themed books, both very dark. One is Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman, and the other is Lapvana by Otessa Moshve. They're both set in like Dark Ages, rural, I guess most things were rural at that time, rural communities, but they also have a little bit of magical realism, and Between Two Fires a lot more than Lapvana, but Between Two Fires is like a classic, I wouldn't say hero's tale, but it's kind of written like a hero's tale. And they have all these like little challenges, but it's all the devil. Everyone's the devil. But it's really heavily around like the Catholic Church and kind of the anxieties about the Catholic Church around that time. But both very fascinating books. I would say a little gory and a little dark. So if you're not into those, then maybe omit. But I would highly recommend two dark aged, dark themed, death, beautiful books.
One of my beautiful books from last year, honestly, sometimes it takes me a really long time to read the things that I like the most. And a big epic that I finished last year that I was really proud of and also really thoroughly enjoyed and savored was Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides.
I want to read that so bad.
It was so good, but it is like 3 stories within one story. So I think part of why it took me so long is because it was like there were certain stories that I personally like vibed with more within this. It's an intergenerational kind of epic, right? But it's so original. It is about a person who's intersex and their journey to discovering that about themselves. And it's so interesting to think that it was originally released in 2002.
Wow.
It was so ahead of its time, thinking about that now from 2025. But if you don't know, Jeffrey Eugenides is who wrote The Virgin Suicides, and he's just a really, really talented author. He is able to craft finely woven stories. So that was absolutely my number one work of fiction that I finished last year and was really proud of.
Nice. I'll have to move that higher up on my list then.
Yeah.
Because it's been there, but I'm always, there's some books like classics or ones like that where you're just like, it's intimidating and it makes me nervous to start, even though like I'm sure I'll enjoy it or I'll get something out of it.
It is a big book. Though I will throw in one really interesting little fun fact is that I never set out to read it necessarily. I was at this really cute bookstore and they had that blind date with a book thing. Yeah. And on the cover of this book was like, it was, wrapped in paper and you can't tell what book it is. And it says just 3 words. It says epic. It says family drama. And it says worms. And when I bought it, I was like, the person I was with, I was like, I will bet you that this is Dune. I was like, this is going to be Dune. And it wasn't. And they weren't sandworms. They were silkworms. So don't judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worms.
I think one of my next most favorite reads from last year was Woman at Point Zero by Nawal El-Sadawi. It's another short book published in like 1975. And I feel like the only thing I want to say about it is this little like quote about it. All the men I did get to know filled me with but one desire, to lift my hand and bring it smashing down on his face.
Fair.
So recommend.
So highly recommend.
Would read.
All right, we're gonna move into the smut category here. I would say the top 3. To be fair, I don't think I've read many more of this genre of book last year, but Morning Glory Milking Farm, let me tell you, that smutty little book, it's got a little bit of love in it. It's a nice little story. It's really poorly written. I don't even know if there's an actual physical book. The only option available on Libby was audiobook. Audiobook's pretty good. So, not an academic type of book, but neither is Barbarian Alien, which is the second in the Ice Planet Barbarians series, which is written by Ruby Dixon, which to me that kind of sounds like a porn star last name. Porn star name, not just last name. But that's just my personal opinion. It kind of goes with the book, though. If you know nothing about Ice Planet Barbarians, do you want to fuck a big alien? Read the book. I don't know. And then last on this list is Lights Out. I think if Larsen read this book, she would just
send her to therapy.
I was gonna say, combust. It has like a gazillion content wordings at the beginning. None of them are nearly as bad as you think it is. And I would say, although this book is, she wants to fuck a masked man and wants to fuck that masked man real bad. And that masked man and her accidentally kill someone. And it's like fun and it's really kind of dark and sexy. But it's a pretty good read. I don't know. I attempted the second Nevessa Allen is the author, and in her second, I don't know if it's her second book or just second in this like domain. They are apparently very connected books. I could not get into the second one at all. So take that how you will.
Wow.
Another one that I would like to shout out. I read The Door by Magda Szabo.
Is that the one where they fuck the door?
This is not the
No,
one where
that's Unhinged by. We don't need to say who by.
Magda Szabo. I'm not totally sure if that's how you say her name. She is from Hungary. But it's an unsettling exploration of the relationship between two women. And it's kind of like during post-World War II communist Hungary. It's very different if you're used to just like modern American literature, but really, really good. And yeah, I would say kind of unsettling at times, but yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting read. And after reading it, I went and picked up Abigail by Magda Szabo. So
okay,
yeah,
cute.
One more book that I really enjoyed from last year, I actually listened to it on audiobook, but that counts, is Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer.
Oh, so good.
I am admittedly a slut for Krakauer.
Yeah.
I really love that man's way with words. I mean, he just has the journalistic quality to his writing, and he's really able to narrativize nonfiction in an engaging way. I teach Into the Wild every year, so I'm really familiar with that text, but I hadn't read Into Thin Air yet. And on a long road trip, it was just me and my Prius, I listened to it, and I was in tears at various points.
So good.
Yes, I love him.
Yeah.
And fuck people who climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Except Jon Krakauer. Well.
Well, if you like nonfiction with really good voice, I read Crossings: How Road Ecology is Shaping the Future of Our Planet by Ben Goldfarb. Really, really good. And I feel like it's one of those books that like takes harder topics and science and puts it into words, vocabulary that the layman can understand. And
Translates a little bit for us.
Yeah, admittedly, like I was an environmental science major, but I think it's something that anybody could listen to and understand and love. Similarly, whether or not you root for this person, this person meaning
J.D. Vance,
Captain James Cook.
same thing.
The Wide, Wide Sea, Imperial Ambition, First Contact, and the Fateful Final Voyage of Captain James Cook by Hampton Sides. Also a really, really good nonfiction.
Okay.
in a radical genre shift. For me in 2025, music was really dominated by the girlies. And I think like the first of the girlies that must be mentioned is Charlie, XCX, and Brat. I admittedly like didn't get into the album immediately. Like I think oftentimes when there's like a giant hype around something, I just wait.
Yeah.
I kind of am always perpetually the person like at a family holiday, everyone's rushing into the potluck line, and I'm like, I'll just wait. Like it'll die down. But when I eventually like started listening, it's just genius. Like it's fresh sounding. She has deep narratives in songs with club tracks. Like, and I just really feel like she deserved to get her flowers. She's been working on music production and song creation for so long. So I really loved Brat. There's nothing I can say about it that hasn't already been said. I will say I feel like it is in line with a lot of other albums by powerhouse women from last year. Like another one that I'll just mention right off the bat is West End Girl by Lily Allen, which again, what really drew me to it is that the story of the songs is so good. She is so good at doing these witty word plays, witty lyricisms, so that a song about your husband cheating on you is now cheeky and very listenable. And the whole album is one of those songs right after another in a way that like weaves together into a larger narrative. And I do often like it when an album can be, because I don't use streaming services, I really like albums that can be holistically kind of consumed and played over and over again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I haven't listened to the Lily Allen album, but I have heard a lot about it, obviously, because the things that came out about David Harbour, right? That's his, with that album. But I definitely should give it a listen at least. Tyler Childers made a whole album for the fans that he hates in the most creative way possible. His most recent album, Steinpine, which came out last year, 2025. Because he has a diverse fan base, and a lot of his fan base, I think, thinks that he is this big MAGA man, and this man is a socialist. And he put a long-awaited release song, has had a song that he's played at concerts for years and years and years, Onita, and it's like a love song, I think, about his wife. And it's been like waited for him to release this song on an album, and he did it. And the rest of this album is very much like Eat the Rich, very not what a lot of his fandom thinks that he stands for. So I do love that he pulled a little, it's literally called Snipe Hunt, like he's just taking him on a snipe hunt on this album to find something that they're never gonna find. Great album, good sound. I love Tyler Childers, and that's all on that.
Just moving off of that, because one of my, I feel like, most listened to artists last year was Charlie Crockett. And if you know me, you know that I don't enjoy listening to country music. But the country music that I grew up listening to was the country music my very old grandmother listens to. And so that has a much different sound than the country music that you guys always like, you know, talk about from your childhood or whatever.
Hold on. I just want to say I don't stand by today's country music.
Hell no.
Hell no. Put a boot in her ass.
It's the American way.
But like, for example, my grandma really loves Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And so that's the era of country music that I was exposed to. And so Charlie Crockett really fits that vibe. And
absolutely.
Kaylin and I went to Charlie Crockett concert, and kind of like what you're saying, you have people in the audience who think that this man is conservative Republican. And if you listen to anything he's saying, listen to any of his music, you would quickly realize, like, that's not the case.
Yeah. There is a grand tradition of that, actually. Like, even in folk music, like Woody Guthrie, right?
Yes.
Like, he wrote, This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land. That's a socialist anthem. And people were like, yay, America.
Yeah. Well, even Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, who's more contemporary. Hank Williams, the OG, also those common similar themes. But I mean, that's who was listening to that music, was people who... I mean, that is still who's listening to the music, I guess. They're just less brainwashed, I don't know. It's really interesting. A lot of old country is super, super progressive, and it's disheartening that, like, you're literally listening to the words and you can't hear them. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
How is that disconnect there?
Yeah, but Charlie Crockett,
Phenomenal.
those deep vocals, they get me.
Another girly that we could add to the list, who did not have an album release, but did release a couple of songs last year, Chapel Roan. I just think that I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so much a like full album listener. Like, if there's an artist that I like, I will listen to the full album. Like Miley Cyrus came out with an album, I listen to that full album. Then I usually go back and like decide which songs I like and whatnot. But most of the time, I have songs by artists that I like the sound of, and I don't necessarily listen to their whole catalog or whatever. So then I feel like the songs that I like really listen to are kind of all over the place. But some of my most listened to songs last year were Nissan Altima by Doechii, Basic Being Basic by Joe, and then Mood Swings by Idols, which is a cover that they did of a Little Sims song.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that range.
Yeah.
One more full album that I gotta give mention to, and I know Kaylin and Larsen are gonna back me on this. Even though it came out in October, it was easily one of the albums I listened to the most last year into this year, is Everybody Scream by Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
Everybody Scream, great. They have that in the titular song.
Yeah.
They had in the advertisements for Bride, the trailer, and I really wanted it to be in that movie. And it's okay that it wasn't, but like perfect, yeah.
Yeah, no, Florence, the Queen.
We'll see you in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see her. We'll talk about it on the pod if it's a spiritual experience, which it will be. Yeah, but I don't know, that album was everything that I needed it to be at that moment in time. It's got that feminine rage. It's got that mystical coven feel that you expect out of a Florence song, but it has these soft and these tender and these vulnerable moments, and really captures the range of emotions of a woman.
Yeah. I still can't tell if I like Everybody Scream or Dance Fever more.
Yeah.
Because Dance Fever, I feel like, had so many songs. At the time, I just was like, I'm connecting to this so much.
Yes. Yeah. Also, both great records.
Yeah. Kaylin got them for me.
So on to some movies and TV. Mine are all movies because I apparently don't remember any television I watched last year. But I think a huge standout for me specifically, a huge standout, also like Oscar worthy, Everything is Sinners. Sinners was just such an amazing movie. Saw it like at the very beginning of last year, and man.
Was that really that long ago?
Yeah, it was like February of last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I just remember watching it and being like, this is A, going to be taught in film classes, B, should be nominated, if not win many awards. And we talk about it a lot during our Oscars podcast. But the story is a great original story. It has a phenomenal soundtrack. It is just so cohesive, and there's vampires.
Also an Oscar bait / Oscar worthy film that was high on my list is Hamnet. I know that it's not going to be everyone's like number one, and I don't even know if it was my number one so much as that I just have to mention it because it had such an impact on me.
She was
in
sobbing.
The theater. Yeah, famously, I was full on bawling at multiple points in the movie, and it's hard even to say like why it hit me so hard other than that Jessie Buckley's acting really, really, really is phenomenal. And it just captures every emotion that this character is feeling. I also am an English teacher. Part of my master's was done on Shakespeare and in collaboration with the Globe Theatre in London. So anything that's like tangential to Shakespeare, I feel oddly connected to. And I just thought it was a beautiful story.
I didn't watch it, but I really want to. I feel like for me, I enjoy movies, and I this last year became a Regal Unlimited member because I want to go see more movies. It's a fun activity, but I do read way more than I watch movies. So I sometimes when I go into movies, I'm not looking at them the same way I look at books. So the movies I picked were kind of like fun. I really enjoyed Predator Badlands.
I've actually been meaning to see that. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
The score is incredible. It's almost like a coming of age action alien movie. But it was I came out and I was like, that was fun. That was cute. Yeah. And other ones that I feel like kind of totally different themes but felt the same were like Good Fortune.
Oh man, you stole my thunder.
Oh Hi and Eternity. Those were, I left the theater being like, these weren't fun movies to watch.
Oh Hi is the one where okay. Yeah. I also recommend that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I totally forgot we watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Good Fortune, that was a sleeper. I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about that. And it's just so smart. It's funny. It is feel good. It's heartfelt. You get Keanu Reeves, who's an angel, chain smoking cigarettes and eating chicken nuggies at some point. Yeah. So it makes you think. And it's also just like a fun movie.
And I think in particular we watched it right after having watched Begonia and Die My Love. So
that's right, that was all the same week.
So it was kind of like, this is refreshing.
Yeah.
This isn't a 2025 release, but I didn't watch them until 2025. And it's kind of funny to think about now because I think I watched the Before Sunrise trilogy in like January of 2025. I watched Before Sunrise, Before Midnight, no, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight? Or After Midnight?
After Midnight?
Before Midnight.
Okay, so it's all before. It's Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. And I really, really, really liked them. To me, these are like movies that I think I'll always keep in my back pocket of favorites. Particularly the first one, I do think that there's a little bit of a quality dip with each one. But honestly, in my opinion, not a drastic quality dip. The reason why I like these movies so much is because they're very dialogue heavy and dialogue focused, but the dialogue is some of the most, to me, natural feeling dialogue in a movie that I've seen. It was just so refreshing to me to see movies that were not these giant blockbuster convoluted plot, 10,000 things is happening, which is like very human. Like two people. It follows a couple and each movie is filmed 10 years apart. So the actors age with the characters. And they start out young, and then they part ways.
They're less young.
Yeah, they part ways, and then the second movie they find each other again, and then in the third movie it's kind of like dealing with an elder stage of life. So each movie is a different stage of life, and they have to have this dialogue about different problems in their lives, and it just all felt realistic to me. Even the unsatisfying parts felt like, well, that could be real life.
Other old movies that I watched that I like, Godfather. I was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked that.
Same. I forgot we watched that.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Was good.
But another one that I feel like I am glad that I finally watched it and I was able to see it in theaters was Interstellar. Did I love the movie? Not necessarily, but being able to hear that score in theaters is life-changing because I love Hans Zimmer, but the Interstellar score has never been one of my favorites. And now that I've seen it with the cinematography in theaters,
you're like, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like the cornfield scene, like literally had goosebumps, and I was like, okay, you guys are right. It's good.
I had 2 horror movies that I watched this year that I felt like were really good and stood out. And I like a horror movie, but I like a horror movie that's not Saw.
Yeah.
So
Human Centipede?
Not a fan of that one either. Weapons and Good Boy, which are 2 very different movies. But Weapons, I honestly feel like she's a main character, but she was nominated for the Oscar for supporting role. Amy Madigan.
Won it.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Won it. And she deserved that so much. She did such a phenomenal job. She is the kookiest little fucking thing in the entire world. And there's just little tiny things. I've watched the movie twice now, and the second time through, I was like, oh, like there's just, it's so well put together with so much thought and a lot of good jump scares. They're just fun jump scares. The other is Good Boy, which is filmed from the perspective of the dog. There's very little dialogue. You're at dog level the entire time, and it was filmed by a husband and a wife and their dog in their house during COVID, and it's a really interesting how it's done. I also think it was a good movie in general. It's like an allegory for mental illness, but just really interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? Structure, not theme, like how it's done, just like being off the perspective of the dog and at the level of the dog. And it's not just like, the story's not just about the dog. You're seeing everything from knee level. It's really fascinating way of like putting together a film.
Where was their cinematography Oscar nom?
Yeah, for real though.
That's very inventive. Outside of like book, movie, music, just kind of general favorites from last year, experientially, I really started like shopping for vinyls a lot more last year, going to vinyl record stores. And there's just something about it that is really pleasant to go and buy physical media. And I think that's something that in the future we will definitely be talking about.
Yeah.
But that was definitely something that I really enjoyed getting a bit more into last year.
It sucks that they're so expensive.
Yes.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And even some of the old ones that are coveted, it's amazing how expensive some of those are.
Yeah.
No, I got a record player Christmas of 24, I think. And I haven't done a ton of vinyl hunting, but that is something that I should do more of. I also feel like I need a different record player because how mine sounds versus how yours sounds is not a one-to-one situation.
Something that I really enjoyed doing last year, because I grew up in a smaller town. We didn't have all of the like chains and, access to things immediately. So now that I live somewhere where it's a city and I can go do things, and all the things you see on TV and social media exist in the same town you live in.
Yeah.
I was having really fun going to try the salt and straw flavors every single month. Because like where I'm from, like I would see that on social media and be like, well, that'd be cool. Too bad the closest one is thousands and thousands of miles away.
Sad life.
So I've been enjoying my very expensive odd ice cream.
Oh my gosh, that resonates with me so deeply, especially because right now when we're recording this, it's March, and that's cereal flavor month, and it's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
But you didn't like the grape nut one, and
I did like the grape nut. I did like it.
I feel like you were giving slander for us ordering a full scoop. Well, did you get a half scoop or full scoop?
I did a split scoop.
No, it's just because I'm so die-hard for the
Yeah.
pots of golden rainbow.
Okay, that's fair. I felt like it was a little bit more slander.
I didn't know I was being so vitriolic.
I guess 2 things that I enjoyed last year and I'm looking forward to a lot this year is Concert in the Park, which here in Sacramento, that is a free every Friday, May through June, I believe. I think it ends in July. Always a different types of music, different genres, I guess is what I'm looking for. And local folks usually like starting, whether it's a DJ or local bands, and then you kind of increase on listenership. But sometimes there's some really cool acts, and even if it's not music that I normally listen to, like it's free. It's good music. It's usually not super, super hot. Like it's just a fun experience, and something that Sacramento does well.
Yeah.
I think I said 2 things, so I'll say my other thing.
Did you say 2?
I think so. I think I said 2 things I'm looking forward to this year. Floating the river. I never did that growing up. People always talk about that. I did a lot of other water things. I never floated the river, and we had a lot of fun out there on that there river.
On that there river. I am slightly worried. I told my partner this the other day because in Sacramento, there's much river, okay? If you aren't from here, there's a lot of river, and so if you're just driving around, you're going to drive over a river at some point. And I was driving over a river, and my partner pointed and he said, we're going to be floating that river in just a couple months. And I said, I'm deeply worried that Larsen's never going to go with us again.
Yeah, I'm not inland people. I didn't grow up with frequenting rivers and lakes. I'm more of open ocean beach people. So I have some fears of disease, of like currents that could, like there's just, I have to mentally prepare myself. I have to check USGA, whatever it is.
The flow rate.
USGS. The flow rates. I have to check to see if there's been any bacteria in the water, and then maybe I can enjoy myself.
Maybe.
But I prefer the ocean.
I like them both. I really liked floating also.
Yeah.
If I wasn't thinking, it was relaxing.
We'll just get you an edible, dog.
I don't think that's how it works
That's
for me.
better. I think that might be worse.
Another thing that has been kind of fun for me and also weird is that for the first time basically since high school and then COVID, I have been living in one spot all year. And it's fun to be able to have a routine and places you go and friends you can hang out with and make plans with like months in advance.
Yeah.
Because I used to like split my time places, and then I used to like with work, like, being gone for months at a time.
Yeah.
I missed it, and I didn't know what it was like to do that, especially in a real city with real things, and it's been fun.
Yeah. I actually have something kind of like tangential to that on my list of favorite things from last year, which was just kind of like having weekly hangs with your friends. It's famously hard to like make and keep friends as an adult unless they're people that you've known a long time. And getting to have like a friend group that is reliable to go to something like weekly trivia throughout last year was really nice. Just knowing that you're like gonna see people and have that reprieve in your week, and like, yeah, kind of like Larsen said, that you could make plans like a couple months in advance, and like you're gonna have stuff on your calendar like floating the river to go do with people that you really like. That was a really refreshing and nice part of last year, and something that I looked forward to so much.
One thing I really enjoyed about college and living with friends is like kind of the impromptu plans, and living in a city where you're really close to your friends and being like, hey, do you guys want to get dinner? And just being able to do that. No plans.
Then you're done with your dinner, and do you just want to get some ice cream?
It's the simple things.
It is.
Community.
It's almost like life is worth living sometimes.
Only when the sun's out.
Only when the sun's out,
but it's
and
not
you
too
have friends,
hot.
and
There's a little bit of breeze.
well, if you guys have anything that you want to share with us,
give us your yays and nays, your faves and Knaves.
Definitely like drop a comment on Instagram or TikTok when this episode announcement goes out and tell us your faves and your knaves.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you'll keep reading the room with us.
So keep checking back for more episodes that dive into the spaces where literature, media, and culture meet.
Please reach out to us at readtheroomcultureclub@gmail.com for feedback and topic suggestions.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at readtheroom_cultureclub for the most up-to-date podcast information.
If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen.
And remember to take up space in whatever room you're in.
Happy 2026!